So this is Michael. Say hello, everybody.
Hi.
So, Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been playing since season 3, and I have a problem. Now, what is Fortnite Battle Royale? Fortnite is such a great concept for a video game. You get 100 guys shoving into a bus and say, get them. And with a randomized loot chest, random weapon drops, the storm which forces aggressive play, the building mechanic, and this really nice cartoon art style, you get a little tasty package. And Fortnite has been said to be many things. A fun game to play with friends, really satisfying to win. Maybe even you think that it makes your kids violent. Hint, it doesn't. But what I've really come to understand by playing the game is one thing. It's addicting. What I know, and many others do from playing the game firsthand, is Fortnite can be frustrating, which makes the moments where it's really fun just all the more special. So why is it addicting? Fortnite combines a host of features that keep the player invested. Think about it this way. You and your friend just installed Fortnite Battle Royale. You two get in the menu, blasted with tons of information. Who cares about that? You press start, you start the game. And now you're in this big bus with loud music, and you follow your friend, you see a guy, and oh wait, look, you're dead. Good job, you frickin' dumb man. Good job. You have just encountered weapon spawns in Fortnite. These things make it so you and your friend have different kinds of starting loadouts. After digging around a bit, Mr. Fatman, as he's known in the YouTube space, found out the drop rates of weapons that come out of the chest at the start. He's found that over rarities, common weapons spawn as loot about 60% of the time. Uncommon are 20%. Epic weapons sit at a cool 10, whilst intense legendary drops sit at a 3% drop rate. Due to these rates, I'm just gonna say that these little spawn rates are, my professional opinion, just a little bit really immensely busted. Now, how do you know weapon spawns are wacky tobacky, Michael? Well, Grandpa, think of it this way. You just installed Mr. Jose Gonzalez XX 2003, and then someone like Ninja gets an uncommon pump action whilst you're sitting there with this trash garbage bin bargain can weapon, common revolver. Okay, you sit at a maximum damage cap of 54. Well, this guy sits at a damage cap of 95. What are you supposed to do? The best you can do is sneeze at the man with your pitiful 57 damage. You're gonna sneeze at the man? You're gonna sneeze at the ninja? Yeah, that's what I thought. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, when you get a legendary rocket launcher at the start of a game, let's just take a moment to pray for these hypothetical people who will individually get their outsides and insides splattered all over the walls.
We just committed genocide!
And this all boils into the point I made just a second ago. Fortnite hooks you with those fun weapons, so you either die really quickly and want to try and find another one, or have so much fun with it in a match that finding another one would make your entire day. And since the weapons are random, the feedback loop of get a cool weapon or don't get a cool weapon and keep searching could potentially last a minute to an entire day. That hook is always in the back of your mind and keeps players coming back. Now, you might think that's the only thing I was going to talk about. Wait, what are you, dumb? You ever have the feeling that there's someone behind you? Oh, no, go look, behind you. Ha, got you, dude. Made you look. Got it, bro! Well, that's not just a feeling, it's part of the gameplay in Fortnite. And as Jake, I don't know how to say his last name, points out in his video of Fortnite sound design, each and everything has a different sound to indicate different things. The pitter-patter of walking on a carpet compared to the orchestra of noise you make when walking on anything made of wood. It's actually not that loud though. And although you have no direct way of knowing where they are, depending on the sounds, you can get a pretty good idea. Learning sounds like gun equips, gun shops, and the different kinds of footsteps can give you an advantage opposed to players who don't know about these subtle audio cues. Well, what's that, Jeremy? You're doing an important spreadsheet that I told you to do a month ago? So then why did I just hear you get a kill streak bonus in Halo? Got him! And this kind of sound design adds a learning curve that other games just can't have. Having a learning curve at all can add playtime to any game because learning itself isn't an accomplishment and keeps players invested. Why do you think college is so popular? Yeah, sick burn aside, have you ever seen a pro player in action? If you have, you know, I know, that the pace of Fortnite is just so... Oh, it's so juicy, like one of those little sweet gusher candies. And why is it juicy? Let's look at the number side of things, okay? Now, I'm taking the numbers from my experience and Max Albert's article about Fortnite's addictive gameplay, so bear with me if they aren't 100% accurate. But every player has 100 health points at the start of a game, and even the most trash tier garbage bin guns do at least 25 damage to the body. Doing the math, most shots you have to hit are like 4 body shots to kill someone. That's just with the common garbage weapons. With epic tiers, it can take 2 shots or less to fall over and die at 100 health. When you're in a fight, no matter what, you're working against the timer, while also dealing with the pressure that your opponent gives you.
Objection! But how do you know that's true, Michael?
Well, what, you don't believe me? Okay, here's an example for you. Okay, so Mr. Rustlord hears a gunshot, sees where the gunshot came from, and decides to advance on the enemy. He builds walls as a safety measure not to be shot down while advancing. He realizes he can't get a rush at this point, so he builds a ramp to try and get the high ground on the enemy. He makes a misjudgment and falls. But he also sees exactly where the opponent is. So, the other guy has no idea where he could be. Rustlord has the advantage and can stage a surprise attack. Kills him in 1 shot. The fight's done in only 31 seconds. And just an FYI, he was at 100 health that entire time. If you can't put the pressure on your opponent, he'll provide what you couldn't and more. And if this isn't a shining example of withstanding pressure, I don't know what is. So we've established that the player has to withstand and dish out the pressure while also finishing the enemy off in a very short amount of time. And whilst people might say that's unfair to put casual players up a steep learning curve, they're aided by things like weapon spawns and additional health pickups. And the same items are still going to be valuable endgame, giving incentive to competitive players to fight for those items. So it's a win-win, and adds to player retention in the long run. Because trust me, once you've been playing for 15 minutes plus, straight that I want to be placed number 1 and not number 2. It's a lot to take in at once, and I'm not like a supercomputer either, so here's basically what I'm trying to say. Fortnite keeps players interested, occupied, distracted, whatever word you want to pull out your synonym.com, okay? And whether it's be through the deceivingly low health, the sound cues, or the dumb as heck weapon spawns, there's always something that keeps them coming back. And throughout this video, I hope you learned something you didn't already know about the game, because as I said, it can be frustrating at times, and you need every edge you can to get a victory royale. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.